back to Major Misconduct. I'm the Major. The Misconduct has taken a rest. We're on 360 Winnipeg, and we're live at Foreplay Sports Bar. My guest, my good friend from Top MMA News, Marc-Andre Drolet. Marc-Andre, UFC 147 just took place in my favorite place in the world, Belo Horizonte, Brazil.
Brazil, yeah.
Belo Horizonte, not just Brazil.
Not just Brazil, yeah.
And it was an interesting fight. Rich Franklin comes back from 16 months off, doesn't show a lot of ring rust, survives the second round, and ends up winning a fight.
Yeah, that's about the only relevance on that card, Scott.
Yes, it was.
Two non-Brazilians on the card. There was not a lot of...
I had a very good friend phone me and say, I watched all of the undercard. I didn't know any of the fighters. They were all Brazilian.
Nobody did. No, they did a reality show. So this was essentially a TV show sold as a pay-per-view. It was an Ultimate Fighter Brazil. So the last two fights, or the second and third last fights, nobody ever heard of these guys.
That's
and they're still pretty new. So that should have been a free card.
So now we have 148 coming up. I like this one. We're at the MGM Grand. We're July 7th, and we're going to see Chael Sonnen fight a guy who hasn't lost in 6 years.
Absolutely. Anderson Silva, Chael Sonnen. Probably the most anticipated rematch in the sport. There's been some debate of that lately. I don't see any other rematch that's ever been as exciting as this because, like you say, Anderson hasn't lost in 6 years. And even his last loss was a DQ. He was beating a guy up and kicked him in the head and got disqualified. So it's more like 9 years since he's actually been defeated. But that was a loss. But in this case...
But you're right, he hasn't been defeated.
But he's never even lost rounds until he fought Chael Sonnen the first time, and he lost the first 4 full rounds, was 2 minutes away from losing his title, was on his back, and pulled off a submission victory. So that makes it anticipated.
It's going to be a great fight. You want to go to Vegas for this one?
Sure. You
July
can.
7th? Yeah, I'll take it. We've just done UFC 147 and 148. We're going to come back and get hyper-local and talk UFC 149. We're going to talk Roland Delorme when we come back on 360 Winnipeg. I'm Scott Taylor. That's Marc-Andre Drolet, and we're live at Foreplay Sports Bar.